tonight on ESPN at 9:30. It is the Pelicans taking on the Warriors.
I'll be there.
Coming to you live above Heineken River Deck here in Pier 17, New York City. Welcome back to Jalen and Jacoby. Jalen Rose, Giannis Antetokounmpo had over 40 points, at least 15 rebounds, and at least 5 assists, and shot 75% from the floor. He's the first person to do that since Charles Barkley in 1988.
Give me the lane. I'll throw it down your throat like Barkley. Chuck D. Here's the thing about Giannis. Why you do my Pacers like that, man? I know Miles Turner wasn't out there, but like, what ferocity he was playing. Like, what did they do to you, Giannis? What happened, man?
Well, let me also ask you this.
Man.
Are we all just sleeping on the Bucks this year? It feels like we're all just sleeping on the Bucks this year.
I'm
8-2 in their last 10. Dominant performances of Giannis every night.
Tell me when I started saying if I needed to take the Nets or the field,
I was
going to take the field.
They're the Milwaukee Bucks, not the field. Those are two completely different things.
Okay, they're a part of the field.
Okay.
And I said the bigs that's going to be a problem for the Nets are Bam. You saw him last night, right? Mm-hmm. Are Giannis. You saw him last night. And Embiid struggled last night. Giannis is going to continue to be a problem, but here's what makes them different. Drew Holiday, playmaker, defender, veteran, leader, three-point shooter, an upgrade from Eric Bledsoe. And can we give my guy Chris Middleton some love?
We can.
Like, I know he's not doing backwards windmill dunks, and it's hard for y'all to appreciate him. But you know, I can appreciate somebody getting buckets, Jacoby, without highlights.
Yeah, that's your game. That is your game. And really, no one really ever accused Middleton of being a playmaker, but he's a scorer. That's why Drew Holiday is so important for them. I think he had 14 assists last night.
Wow, that's crazy.
And he's a lockdown defender.
Yeah,
if they get the Drew Holiday they have right now, they're going to be the second toughest out in the Eastern Conference.
There you go.
Well, Jalen, soon to be anointed the MVP of the NBA. Of course, I'm talking about Stretch Mark 5. Your guy, our king, Nikola Jokic, had 31 points and 14 rebounds, was once again unstoppable. Can he continue this dominance through the playoffs?
My king, this year's MVP. And by the way, you ready for this? Unorthodox. You talk about Middleton not having highlights. I gotta tell you a secret. Other than passes, Joker's offensive scores ain't highlights either.
Yeah.
Unorthodox. He jumps off of both feet. Right? Look at this. Look at this. But he got a feathery touch. Look at that. Ooh, you can't stop the rain. Look at that. You see that when it starts to fall.
Jumping off the wrong foot.
Exactly.
This look awkward.
Get you first with in the top 5 in points, rebounds, and assists. Hasn't missed a game this year. And you already jumped off the bandwagon and already claimed his teammate, took his picture down and put Capazzo's up already.
Listen,
disappointed in you.
I'm sorry. When I look at the Nuggets, I only look for one man, Facundo Campazzo, because I love fancy passes. Campazzo had 8 assists last night, got a couple buckets. Look at that. He's like Jamal Murray who? Here you go, Aaron Gordon. You know what I mean? He's just electrifying. And I like that he's tough. He's got that Napoleon complex about him where he's just been a little guy his whole life surrounded by big guys, and he's just not going to hear it from anybody. I love Facundo Campazzo. He is my king.
Shout to Josh Kroenke and the Nuggets front office. Because if Jamal Murray didn't get hurt, and you add JaVale McGee, you add Aaron Gordon, they really flirting with coming out of the West. Seriously.
They still are. Okay, Jalen. One team that's not coming out of the West, Sacramento Kings. The Kings missed the playoffs.
They're not going to be able to do it.
15 straight seasons, tying an all-time record. What is broken about this franchise?
What's their identity? Like, what is their identity? Like, by the way, they got some pieces that I like. De'Aaron Fox, I love him. Halliburton, you know how much I love him. Buddy Hield.
Rashad Holmes playing
Buddy Hield has a flamethrower. But here's the thing. When you have so many different general managers and you have so many head coaches, you lose players like Bogdanovich. You notice he playing for the Hawks, right?
Just let him go.
Right?
Just said bye. We're not going to match that. Go ahead, bye.
You don't make the playoffs by letting go good players that just scored 27 points last night for the Hawks.
It is time for Soft Mover Bossman. Look at your city. Look at your city.
Home for my city.
Detroit.
Home for my city.
Is someone enjoying a Tigers game, going to the ballpark? I don't know if he's wearing clothes, but he's just treating the ballpark like his living room. He probably got shorts on, soft over boss move, treating the ballpark like a living room.
I'm going to just tell you guys right now, not only is that a boss move, but Game 7 of the NBA Finals would be July 23rd. After that date, you're going to see photos of me at that game like that.
I don't want to see that.
Just like that.
I don't want to see that.
On the chair in front of me. All of that.
Yeah, you would have the safest seat in the building because people would look at your toes and not sit anywhere near you. Please don't take your feet out. You can go to the game, you can take off your shirt, but do not take those feet out. Do not take those feet out.
That is hilarious.
Jalen, it's Hall of Fame weekend, and Kobe Bean Bryant is going to be enshrined. We will celebrate him right after this.
Rest in peace.
Won't want to miss it.
Like Mamba and GG.
Won't want to miss it. Kobe Bryant's being enshrined in the Hall of Fame, Jalen Rose.
Rest in peace, Black Mamba, and well deserved. I've once said that Michael Jordan was the original and Kobe Bryant is the remix, baby. Let's start the show.
He's Jalen Rose. I'm David Jacoby. We are Jalen and Jacoby. What exactly is it that we do?
We get the people what they want.
We have Tom Brady returning to Foxborough to take on Bill Belichick. Can't wait to talk to you about that. But we start the show where the basketball ended last night. Final play of the game. Huge game for both the Suns and the Blazers. Booker rises up, shoots. Did he get fouled?
Everybody's got a little light under the sun, under the sun. Booker, that's the best thing that could have happened to him last night because he just did a double dribble. Carmelo Anthony did a great job of forcing the turnover. Covington missed 2 free throws for the Blazers. And yes, Norman Powell, Jacoby, his hand got caught in the cookie jar.
A little bit.
You got to slide your feet. You got to contest it. You got to play without fouling. You got to trust your discipline. And late in the game, you can't give Devin Booker an opportunity to go to the line. He's virtually going to make those every single time.
See him reaching.
Absolutely. He did it.
Yeah.
But also, I have to do another couple of things. Shout to Mikal Bridges. Also, a young player, had over 20 and 10 boards. I remember when he got drafted, and his mother was working for the Sixers. He got picked by them, and they got traded to the Suns.
Yeah, I remember that too.
You remember that? So I'm rooting for him. And also, Cameron Payne. And let me say this. Big shout, young fella, because you proved something to me. Because in OKC and in Chicago, I didn't think he had NBA game. I felt like he was on the sideline dancing and showboating a little too much. Like, I remember Danny Green was doing that as a young player with LeBron in Cleveland. I saw him as a young player doing that with Russ. It's like, Russ can do that. You got to still ball. And I think it took him a time to find his way.
He's found it.
Shout out to Monty Williams and the player development, my little brother Willie Green on their coaching staff. And now he's playing quality minutes for a Phoenix Suns squad that really needed a victory, Jacoby.
They did. They want the 1 seed. They'll probably end up the 2 seed. And at this time of the season, there's all this jockeying for who's going to play who and who matches up with who. And here's what Chris Paul said about that after
Point guard.
You guys could play the Lakers in the first round. You could play the Warriors in the first round.
Man, Chuck, I hate to cut you off, man, but I've been in the West my whole career. West ain't never been easy. I don't care who you playing, what series it is, what game it is. The West always been a beast.
So Chris Paul's acting like he doesn't care who they play in the first round because the West is so hard. Do you believe him?
It flies for him, but not for everybody else.
That's fair.
That's just how he said. I've been playing in the West my entire career. He's the one that has the war wounds in the playoffs with multiple teams. Not Devin Booker. Not Mikal Bridges. And last night, DeAndre Ayton was not even playing. And that was another great reason why they was able to get a victory. But you must say that because he's the leader. He's the point guard. What is he supposed to say? I don't want to play against the defending world champion Lakers.
Yep.
My good friend LeBron James and Anthony Davis. He can't act like he's ducking that.
Well, I'm glad you brought them up because the more you see this and you see even with the Blazers loss, it looks like those Lakers will end up as the 7 seed or the 8 seed. That means it could be a potential matchup with Chris Paul. I mean, which is interesting. However, they've still got games left to play.
Okay.
Should they rest LeBron and AD or play LeBron and AD, try to get the 6 seed?
All situations aren't created equal. And you know I don't like load management. Shout to the play-in series that now we're not using those terms because everybody has to compete to the end. But this is a unique injury. It's a groin injury for a player that has a history of multiple injuries anyway in Anthony Davis. Mm-hmm. Okay, LeBron James is up there in age. You hope to see him play a little bit before the playoffs. If he could give you 24 minutes in one of these games, that'd be great. But at the same time, if they do fall, when they do fall into the play-in, somebody still got to beat them twice. Mm-hmm. They can win one time, and then you know who they have in the first round? Not the Clippers, not the Jazz, the Phoenix Suns. And I think that's a great landing spot for them.
Yeah, I would like to see LeBron play before the playoffs, but we've seen AD get back to peak AD already. Maybe rest AD. Jalen, he got a big win.
The Heat is on.
They got a big win against the Sixers and look great doing it. And here is the heart and soul of the Heat, Jimmy Butler, adding some perspective after the game.
I like our chances to get anybody, honestly. Nobody intimidates us. We take who we got. I think it's going to be difficult to beat us 4 times.
Nobody intimidates us. We're the Eastern Conference champions. No one wants to see us. What do you think?
That's broken news if you watch Jalen and Jacoby. When Udonis Haslem got in the game yesterday, we might as well put Pat Riley's face on his body. That's all that was. We're getting ready for the postseason. It's a lot of barking going on in the NBA. It's more than just beating you on the scoreboard. We're going to also intimidate you physically and mentally. Look what's happening with Dwight Howard. Udonis hasn't played how many minutes this year?
3.
Oh, 3. And those are 3 of those minutes, right?
Those are the 3 minutes.
Got it.
Those are the 3 minutes.
So, and also you see Trevor Ariza also getting tangled up with Joel Embiid. A couple of altercations with Dwight Howard. And again, playoff mentality. That's what Eric Spoelstra is preaching to his guys. They're getting ready. And then they're getting your guys ready too. Dragic, Hero,
yes,
Robinson.
Yes.
Those guys are getting ready.
You know I haven't really claimed Hero and Robinson this season like I did last year in the playoffs. However, recently, we're back. We're back.
Whoa.
We're back. We don't just need to tune up for the playoffs. That's what, Robinson and Hero shine when the lights are on the brightest, and they will. And they will. One thing I also want to point out about this game, which is something that I think will be a theme throughout the playoffs. There we are.
There you are, Jacoby.
Now
I love those
Now we're back
Miami
together.
Vice, and I love the court.